On this episode of Crying in My Car, a podcast for teachers, I have a wild experience up in first class on a plane. No snakes were involved. Also, there's a teacher that's a boxer, and she may have to fight her way out of the new food kitchen that's opening up in a local middle school. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoy this episode of Crying in My Car, a podcast for teachers. Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of Crying in My Car, a podcast for teachers. My name is Devin Siebold. I've got my good buddy, comedian and parent, James Yan in the studio. And obviously you can find us online, CIMC Podcast on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We're also out on tour. I'm doing my thing with the Board Teachers Comedy Tour. Hopefully I'll see you all out on the road. I've seen a lot of Crying in My Car fans. You're doing some touring as well. You got some shows.
I definitely do.
And then you also have your TV show as well.
I do.
Yeah.
The Lowdown with James Yan.
Yeah.
That's me, by the way.
That's James.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for coming out. I've had a great time with the touring. I gave a touring update last time. This time we've been going. You know, it's been fun. Now, I got a great story for you. I'm going to start off with a great story. I'm so happy. You know, you ever have one of those moments where the universe just aligns and you're like, perfect. So I have been flying a lot with the tour.
You have.
And you know, as you fly a lot, you get reward miles, you get upgrades and stuff like that. And I got upgraded to first class.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to clap for that because
I don't know words.
as a lowly comedian, we've often seen people in first class.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
There's a weird thing that comes over you when you sit down and the people are coming by and you're like, peasants, be gone to your seat.
How dare you make eye contact?
Yeah. Check your luggage because it's full from mine.
For no reason.
Yeah, I bring empty luggage just to inconvenience you. Just shoving random garbage bags up there.
Anybody smell of that? Oh, that's poverty.
Well, I do hope they draw the curtains closed. I don't want them using our restroom.
Gotcha. I love how an extra inch of seat makes you a complete different person.
It is an extra inch of seat. Hey, I'm 6'6". I can use the extra inch of seat, which, side note, by the way, I watch all of our videos, and while I think these are the coolest seats in the world, they are the most unflattering. I sit here like this. I don't know. I watch every video, and I'm like, I'm 900 pounds. I'm like, how does that seat support me?
Oh, but
brother. Then I stand up and my back cracks in 7 different ways. So anyways, that's side note. I'm in first class. I am having my Baileys and coffee.
Yes.
I am enjoying myself. Now,
Nice.
Here's the thing. First class is a different breed of people.
Yes,
up
it
there.
is.
I was a little late boarding because upgrade. I didn't know. I knew that I had a chance. I saw the upgrade list. I scanned. The little ticket comes out. It's like, bing, bong. You know, moving on up.
Nice.
And I go to sit down, and the lady's already on her aisle seat. And she is comfortable. She is very situated.
Okay.
Ready to go.
You can tell already.
Yep. And she is straight up Mrs. Howell on Gilligan's Island.
Really?
Like straight up Mrs. Howell. And I put my step up and I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I said, I'm right over there. And I'm in a Jordan sweater, jeans. I'm flying to Milwaukee, bro. And you don't dress for Milwaukee.
But for Milwaukee, that's actually a tuxedo.
It is.
What you have on.
It's like, oh my God, he has shoes. So
Just joking, Milwaukee. We love you.
Yeah, we love you.
We love
Absolutely. Home of beer, apparently.
there you go.
Everywhere you go, beer.
Yeah.
I tell this lady, I'm sorry, I'm right over there. She kind of, you know, like I'm inconveniencing her.
Absolutely.
Fine. She stands up and I sit down and I'm pulling out my Beats headphones.
Yeah.
I'm browsing the thing. She just keeps looking over at me like I don't deserve to be there.
Wow.
Like, why are you here? This should have been an empty seat or a business professional.
Gotcha.
And
she's judging you.
Yes, she's very much judging me. Now, man, if you're out there, this person I'm about to talk to, I seriously, send me a message because I will send you the biggest prize pack ever.
I like it.
I'm on the plane. I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, this lady comes up from the back, and she leans over. She goes, I mean, red, flush red. Are you Devin Siebold? What? And I was like, yeah, I'm Devin Siebold. She goes, I watch all of your stuff. I'm the biggest fan.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. She goes, I've just been watching you since the beginning. She goes, I can't tell you. I saw you walking through the airport and I was like, oh my gosh, is that him? And then I get on the plane and I was like, I think it's him. And she was so excited and the whole time, I didn't even look at the lady talking to me. I was just looking at the lady next to me. I was like,
who's now like, oh no, yeah. Forgive me. Who are you again?
I had no idea I was seated next to a celebrity.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, so I was right. It was so funny because she went to the back and the lady goes, I'm so sorry. I don't mean to intrude, but she obviously seemed quite enamored by you. Who are you? What do you do? And I'm like, well, I don't know, 33 million active viewers every single month, but whatever. Yeah, it's just minimum, stuff. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. No need to treat me any different.
Right. No, not at all. Anyways, can I have some Baileys? Yeah, the stewardess seems busy. Why don't you
go get it?
Go get it for me.
Oh, yes. I'll be right back.
Oh my gosh, it felt so great. I was flying. We were at 35,000 feet. I was at 60,000
yes, you
feet, bro.
Yes, you were.
I felt good. So I get recognized from time to time.
There you go.
Normally it's like, hey, I love your videos, or I watch your stuff on TikTok. Those are neat moments. But this one was like perfect fangirl in the moment that I needed it most.
Bro.
I needed that street cred to be up there in first.
I love the fact that you got that.
I know.
Congratulations to you, by the way,
wild.
man. Not enough comedians get that first class experience.
But the first class on Delta especially. That's the nice one.
I used to fly that. That's different.
I know it is.
First class on Delta hits different.
It does. And of course I get greedy and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll just look at the price of first class on Delta. And then I was like, you know what? Back to Spirit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You see it.
Oh, $2,000 and your firstborn.
Right. It's funny because they call it Spirit because when I checked first class, my spirit left my body and went into the yellow plane.
That's right.
It did.
That's right.
Yeah. So anyways, I thought it was pretty dope. The people on tour, meeting all the people out there and
that must be amazing.
It was pretty cool. Yeah.
Nice, man.
So
shout out to you guys on tour, man.
Yeah. The board teachers tour, they're killing it, but also just meeting the different teachers and the vibe that they give, it's a lot of, I needed that moments, a lot of, trying to find some humor in what's going on.
Gotcha.
And, I got a comment the other day that bothered me, but didn't.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, bothered me, but didn't.
That one little comment?
Yeah, so I don't read I do read the comments.
Okay.
I don't want to read the comments because I know that it's weird, man. Like, let's say you're in a club. I'll give you the analogy. 300 people laughing their butts off the whole time. One guy up front.
And that kills the entire show for
You're
us.
ruined.
Yes.
Are you not?
Yes.
Is it not like, does he not hear me?
Yeah.
Is the mic not working in that one section?
Yeah.
Boop, 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 boop.
And we're killing. Yeah. Everyone else around him is having the time of their life.
They hate you. And for some reason, it happens a lot.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, there's somebody that just had a rough day. And so I posted online. I said, hey, a lot of negative going on out in the teaching world. Maybe something positive that you experienced. And a lot of positive, great stories. There was a story in there of a teacher that was doing a mural in her school.
Okay.
There was a story of teachers that were, getting grants for things and seeing progress in students.
Money's great.
Great. Everything's going well. I get one comment, and the one comment said, wow, positive from you, huh? It's interesting since you make a career off of being negative. But they said, I don't mean that in a bad light. It's very funny, but it's just weird to see.
That hurt me just now. Like it took a little bit out of me when I heard that, man.
So I was like, I read it, and at first it bothered me for just a second, and then I kind of went around and I was like, you know what? I get it. I really do, because the sarcasm that I throw out online, let's make fun of this, wow, this happened to us. Let's make fun of it. Sure, I think it could be viewed as negative, but I responded with my best response that I can think of for that sort of comment.
Gotcha.
Is I'm not trying to be negative. I'm trying to make fun of the stuff that's going on in the teaching world.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, the teaching world has been very bombarded with negativity.
Yes.
When I first started, I made fun of students turning in work late, students asking for a free day.
Yeah. I remember one of my favorite ones was the kid saying, "Hey, I was out for 3 days. Did you guys do anything?"
Yeah.
Like, what?
No,
we stopped everything.
Yeah. We decided to go for search party looking for you. And that was my response to the stuff that I was dealing with as a teacher. In those 8 years since I first started doing videos, it's changed. So I would say the topic has changed and become more negative. It's like, for example, Saturday Night Live, years where there's like big political turmoil, you may turn it on and go, wow, they're being really negative. But then years where there's not political turmoil, you go, they're being goofy, But it's really, we're just trying to make fun of the scenario at hand as a comedian, and you're trying to read the room, and the room is really negative in the teaching world right now.
And let me shoot you some bail. Here's what it really is. What you're talking about is all the bad things, all the frustration, all the challenges that all these teachers have. So it sounds like you're being negative. What you're trying to do is bring it to the light so people can start to be aware of them and do things about them.
Do things about, and also have an outlet.
That's right.
Because the craziness, that's the whole thing of comedy.
Yes.
I do my professional speaking. When I go to do keynotes, when I do PDs at schools, the whole thing I talk about is how comedy is a safety mechanism for us. And when there's a lot to fear and I'm trying to make you laugh, you're going, man, this guy's just looking for jokes and negative lights. It's like, no, I'm actually trying to make fun of the negative that's happening to us. It hit me for a second, and then I was like, you know what? I get it. It's just, and this may come from a teacher who's having a really positive year. That's true
Good
too.
for them.
Yeah, some teachers think I'm too abrasive when it comes to like the comedy and stuff because they don't experience it. It's one of those weird things.
So it's foreign to them.
Yeah, you see other people wearing a rain jacket and you're in a drought.
Got it.
You're like, wow, look at them overreacting.
Gotcha.
And it's like, no, they're not overreacting. It's just that's what's happening to them. That's how they have to defend themselves.
They can't relate.
Yeah. And I think we lose. I don't know why. I think teachers are the best at it, though. I'm going to say this, too.
Okay.
I think teachers are the best at putting themselves in other people's shoes. But I think as a society, we started losing that. I think, and I think it's the internet. The internet has we've been able to box ourselves in. Things you like. Dude, I go on TikTok and I see a cow hoof being repaired.
Yes.
Have you ever seen the cow hoof?
I
The guy
watched that
shaving
video.
the cow hoof.
Yeah.
You watch the video, then what'd you see after it? 20 more cow hooves.
That's right.
Because we box ourselves in with information and we keep seeing the same things we want to see.
Gotcha.
So then when it comes time to go, oh, others can't be experiencing that, What do you mean there's a cow that walks normal? I've watched hundreds of cows that have problems.
Gotcha.
And we're so focused on that.
Those kind of cows run first class, by the way.
They were. they were right up there. I was like, can I get cream with my milk? And they all looked at me like,
oh, heavens. We're so silly.
It's ridiculous. Anyways, all right. You want to go into the teachers in the news?
My favorite part.
I love the teachers in the news. Now, this Teachers in the News today, we're going to talk about a lot of different stuff. I've got quite a few. That's why I'm jumping into it a little early.
Okay.
There are teacher apprenticeships that are booming. They are doing a lot of teacher apprenticeships, and they are trying to get teachers into the classroom by training them early. Now, I don't know. I would like your opinion on this because it seems to me, by what I was reading, there's a lot of schools that are, or a lot of states that are starting to treat teaching like a trade.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whereas before it was 4-year degree, you got to do this, pass this test, bam, you're in. This one is more of like a hands-on learning. Like in Iowa, for example, they have 17 different registered apprenticeship programs hosted by the school systems where they basically train and educate current high school students to become paraprofessionals and then paraprofessionals to become teachers. So they are working them from the ground up.
Gotcha.
Instead of going, hey, you're a teacher. It's, hey, you're not a teacher. You're a student teacher. Now you're a paraprofessional. Now you're a teacher. Maybe they don't have to do the same path in terms of getting the 4-year degree. Maybe they don't have to pass some of these tests. It's more hands-on, What do you think about that?
I think there's some good and bad to it. Good part being that you're getting hands-on training. You're getting to learn as you see people teaching.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a huge benefit because there's one thing to be taught how to fix a motorcycle online.
Yeah.
But until you actually get to a broken motorcycle and you get your hands on it, it's a lot different.
I had a teaching degree. Not a lot of people know that, but I actually went for teaching. Secondary education, social sciences, 4 years of teaching programs. When I entered the classroom, I was struggling.
Really?
Yeah, now, I knew a lot, but...
You knew a lot of information.
Yeah, but all districts are so different. That's the thing is, it took me 2 weeks to learn how to put in a grade. We had testing. We had a test and measurements course. Okay, but... actually using the specific program that is specific to my district, that is done the way the district wants to do it, that's going to take more time to learn.
Absolutely.
You know, but somebody who's coming up, high school para teacher, that might be a little bit better. Now, I have a question for you as a parent. How do you feel?
That's the other side.
Well, how do you feel if you find out your teacher doesn't have a degree? Like if they didn't go to school, do you think there's like an authority issue? Because I've always, and this is kind of a weird thing. I don't know if you agree with this, but I've always had that mentality, or I've seen that mentality of, I'm a teacher, you're a student. If you want to be the teacher, get a degree, go to college. That's always been the thing, I am college educated.
Yes.
Therefore, I am in a position to inform you because I am informed.
That's right.
Now, you take that out of the equation. Do the teachers still have the authority? Do you respect them? As if you find out a teacher has a degree and then another teacher went through an apprenticeship program, is there any difference there or no?
Well, let me say this.
Sure.
I think you're onto something. Here's why. Because when we get to a certain age, we start to judge people based on their actual age. And here's what I mean by that. Like, I'm older now. Like, I'm almost 50. So when I see younger people in my head, I'm like, well, how can they possibly know what they're doing at this job? They've only been alive for 20 years. Like, that's how we think.
True.
So if it's a teacher, I'm going to be looking like, wow, you're awfully young. How old are you? I'm 19. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's young. You graduated 2 weeks ago. Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
From this class.
From this class.
That you're now teaching. Same kids.
And here's what I think the biggest challenge is going to be. I mean, I'm all for it. I mean, people are smart nowadays, even younger people. My kids were one of those people that were actually advanced. They took advanced classes. They graduated early, so I can see that. What I'm concerned about is how these students are going to see that teacher and how they react to that teacher being that young. Are they going to get the respect? Are they going to truly want to learn, or are they going to want to look at that person like a peer?
I can speak from experience as a teacher who started teaching when I was 21.
That's young.
Teaching seniors in high school.
Oh, wow.
Who had failed the Florida standardized test once or twice.
Yeah.
I was 21 teaching 18, 19-year-olds. I didn't have any 20, but I had some that turned 20.
They look like you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
18, 19, I'm 21.
Yeah.
The age difference, not much. Now, I had to lay it down because you're right. That initial 21-year-old teacher,
yeah.
Hey, man, you want to hang out sometime?
You can't be their friend.
You want to play Call of Duty?
You
want
can't.
to you want to do this? You want to do that? I mean, like, it became like a come on, man. You know, come on. Like, and they wouldn't have said those things to me if I had gray hair. You know, and came in older. It wouldn't have been a negotiation.
No.
I feel like they felt they could negotiate with me.
That's
more.
right, because you were one of them.
Yeah.
So that's going to be hard, man. I mean, I think time will tell how well that works. But hey, man, any initiative they're trying to do to get more teachers out there and to give them experience can't be bad.
Right. I think it's kind of weird, too, because you're making them the paraprofessional first. And we don't treat paras the way we should.
Don't. No, we don't.
Paras need more money. Paras need more respect. Parents need better working conditions too. And paras are leaving probably the faster rate than teachers are. So now you're putting them into the position that's even harder than teacher. I mean, I guess that's if they make it to teacher by that point, it's like, oh wow, look at that. You know, they're hey, this is much better. So I guess throwing them to the wolves before you actually, give them a log cabin to live in is maybe a little better.
Might be.
Yeah, that's a new analogy, by the way.
I like
throwing
that.
them to the wolves before the log cabin. It's on a t-shirt already.
Thank you, President Biden.
All right, this one killed me. There's a middle school that is leading by example to help fill teacher shortage gaps. Now, I clicked on this one thinking, oh, we've got an innovative idea. We've got something new. And I went down and man, is this hyped up, okay? The reporter collected data from all the surrounding counties, found 1,900 teachers left in one county alone. 1,900. And it said, however, there is a principal of a local middle school, and I'm not going to say this middle school's name. There's a principal of a local middle school who said that he believes the teacher shortage is a pervasive national issue that has been coming teaching for a while and said he is about to make a change.
Okay.
And this is the quote: "I put my teachers and staff first."
Oh.
And I know that's a very different type of response, and you would probably hear that from a principal because you always hear the principal say, "I put my students first." He said, "I would love to, but I don't know all 1,500 students. I can never know them personally, but I can know my staff personally because I have 150 of those." And he said his philosophy has paid off in more than one way. He said the teachers are impacted by his programs he has started at school. And I said, boy, this is going to be good.
Okay.
What is he doing? And this is his quote: "Our school has started an in-house food pantry called the Hungry Bowl for the teachers."
Oh, so basically he feeds them.
Dude, I'm so sorry. It says we want to help with the relationship that they have with the staff, and they have needs that they have to get through. He said that the food pantry is open for the teachers to come by, get fresh produce, canned goods, meat, bread. It really does help relieve that stress and helps them do better in school.
He's basically training them like a dog.
Well, can we not talk about the fact that teachers need a food pantry?
That's what I mean.
Can we pay the teachers enough to get
Food.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, I don't know the area. I don't
know.
I don't know what's going on here. But can we just say, hey, look at this. Teachers need a food pantry in this school. Maybe we should just provide more for them where they don't have to depend on the school for groceries. What happens during the summer?
I would love to see one of the teachers' faces when they get that can of Chef Boyardee.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
It says they also have coaching and mentorships, professional development to staff members. That I really think is great.
That's good.
Yeah. He said he teaches for a half day and then gets to work with other teachers for the other half of the day, so they have the opportunity to build relationships. That's pretty cool. Okay, fine, sure. But to lead off with, by the way, we have a food pantry, and you call it the Hungry Bowl. I mean, I don't know.
If it's not anything, it's catchy.
It is catchy.
It's catchy.
Yeah. So, why do you want to be a teacher? Well, they have a Hungry Bowl food pantry, and they provide the canned goods that I can't afford at the store.
That's wild.
I mean, I don't know. I can't anymore.
Again, shout out to you teachers going through it.
This next one is very controversial. I posted about it on my page. I'll talk about it in just a second, a little bit more about what we talked about over there. But there's a Florida bill that is currently in the House, and we're recording this a little early, but it does look like it probably will pass, or some version of the bill will pass. So that's why, I don't like talking about bills that are hypothetical.
Gotcha.
Anybody can propose a bill, and a lot of times they do for stupid reasons. Some of the stuff that you see, it's like, But this one is a Florida bill that would ban elementary school students from learning about menstruation. It's a controversial piece of legislation that says that menstruation, other sex ed topics can only be talked about between the grades 6 through 12. Problem with that, it doesn't happen at 6 through 12. It happens earlier.
Yeah.
We're finding a lot earlier, skewing all the way to 9 years old.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so menstruation and sex ed, it's kind of bottled into one. They don't want them hearing about it. They don't want them talking about it. And I put it online. It was controversial. People were like, that's not what it says. Well, just so you know, this is from a rep that was actually co-sponsoring the bill. Actually, I think the sponsoring of the bill. They asked him point blank, so if little girls experience their menstrual cycle in 5th grade or 4th grade, will that prohibit conversations from them since they are in the grade lower than 6th grade? Would they be able to talk about it, these girls?
Yeah.
And the person responded, yes, it would prohibit them from doing that.
That's problematic.
Very mind-blowingly dumb.
Yes.
But also...
What are we saving them from, by the way? Because we're usually saving kids from things.
I don't know. I don't know.
Are we?
It's something made up, I'm sure.
Gotcha.
There's tigers roaming the streets. If they smell it, they could attack the children. You don't know, James. You don't know.
I do not know.
You're
right.
But again, that's the stupidness of it all. It's just
absurd,
ridiculous. Yeah.
is what it is, yeah.
Anyways, obviously, clinically speaking, the U.S. Typical rate is between the ages of 11 and 14. Some as young as ages of 9, and children in 3rd and 4th grade are ages 8 to 10 years old. So obviously 11 and stuff, that's before. It's too late to educate them, but most of them have already experienced this.
Yeah.
So anyways, the intent of the bill is pretty absolutely ridiculous. There's more stuff in there too. The bill suggested this version of sex education, a new version, by the way, a new Florida version of sex ed.
Gotcha.
That would teach that sex is determined by biology and reproductive function at birth. Biological males impregnate biological females. The female then gestates the offspring. Reproductive roles are binary, stable, and unchangeable. And then also states that higher ed students, high school, would be instructed on abstinence and heterosexual relationships with emphasis on heterosexual. monogamous heterosexual relationships.
Gotcha.
So, so they're
I'm laughing to myself because I'm like, if you're watching, our lawmakers
are telling you so. And this is the thing: these people that sponsor this stuff, and the people that endorse it and co-sign on it, I don't know what's wrong with them. They genuinely think that a teacher talking about this stuff to their class is the first time it has ever been exposed to these children.
No, it's not.
Like they're going to cover their innocent ears and go, "I can't hear this. I'm too young for this." It's way worse outside. If you're a parent at home, your child has a different life at school. They're not your child at school. They are a different kid around their peers. They cuss. They say the most vile things. They know everything sexual before I even know what the heck it is. The things that they're talking about that they see on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook
are way worse.
And the parents are so disconnected and they go, I should have been the one to talk about it. I'm not, as a teacher, I'm not the first one to talk about it either. I'm the first one to guide them on it. I'm the first one to hear something in class and go, that's not the way this works. Just so you're aware, this is the way it's supposed to be. This is the biological function of it. This is what's happening to you. There's a lot of teachers out there. I mean, stories. I posted about it on my Facebook. Tons of stories from teachers going, I have had 3 students this year alone that experienced their menstruation cycle for the first time in my class and didn't know what was happening to them.
That's crazy.
Because the parents are on their phone, they're disconnected from it. And the funny thing is, this is so funny to me because you know this is true, James. Look at me in the eye and tell me it's not true. You know that the same parents arguing that teachers shouldn't talk about this in class aren't talking to their children about it because they think their kid already knows from what they've been exposed to online and in their peer groups. They think, why would I sit down and talk to them about it? They already know about it. Somebody's going to teach them about the thing they already know. You know, it's a fear thing. I don't get it.
I don't get it either because as a parent, I would want my daughter to know about that. I would want I want my daughter to have the right information about that.
And you would want it to be not only that, but the discussions to be healthy. We put a stigma on this thing too. There's a shame around it.
But why?
That's the other thing.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
We're not shaming these girls.
What are we protecting them from by not giving them information? We're making them ignorant.
I don't know.
I don't get it.
You know what I think needs to happen? I think 2 male gentlemen need to continue to discuss this without any female input.
That's right.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I really want to hear from you. Put in the comments. What's your opinion on this? I'd love to have somebody on the show, too, to kind of discuss this topic.
But I will say it does start at home. Like I always say, parents, it starts at home. You have to talk to your children about these things as well.
And obviously we love female perspective on here, so I'd love to have a female teacher from the Orlando area. If you can come in, talk to us about what your experience, or even a retired teacher, if you can maybe open up a little bit. I know teachers currently in school maybe can't say as much as they'd like to, but anyway, and also, this kind of stuff, these kind of bills, nobody ever fights back. And James, I fought back. I said, you know what? I said, I'm changing up the rules, and I posted about it. I said, I think that we should be more open about this kind of stuff in schools, and that students need supported and teachers need supported. So I put out an all call and said any teachers in these particular grade levels that need pads or tampons for their children in their class, I said, put them in your Amazon wish list, post it down below, I'll buy it. James, I purchased about $400 worth of tampons and pads, buddy.
Oh, bro.
Yeah, we're filling up the schools.
Man.
We got to help out these kids,
That's
man.
awesome, though, man.
I had to step up, man. That's the thing.
You just did something that millions of dads across America will not.
I did it, and I did it 20, 40 times. Do you know, I got flagged by Amazon for sure.
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
They're like, this guy has bought pads for 72 women.
Bro, Jeff Bezos showed up at your house like, can we talk?
Yeah. Listen, my factory, we're having some trouble filling these.
Is everything okay at home?
Oh man! But I sat there and I was like, we got to take some action. I hate complaining about stuff and not doing things.
I love that, Dad.
I put my money through donations. I try to help out with good causes.
Nice.
If I see something I don't like, I'm like, you know what? Let me donate. Let me help out. And this was one of the ways that I was like, you know what? We got to step up. So for crying in my car, for helping us out, I said, you know what? These people need some help too. So and it was great because a lot of teachers responded. They said, I absolutely need that in my classroom.
I can imagine.
Now I'll have it. It's not a stigma, you know. It's just have it there, you know, and just say this is what it's for, and let's stop, you know, dancing around it like it's everybody. I don't know why
every girl has to go through this.
There's so much, it's frustrating.
I just want to say, Devin, I think it's awesome that you're giving away, you know, you're investing in people, and that's awesome.
Sure,
there's another issue I want to bring.
They invest in me, dude.
They do. I want to bring another issue to the forefront that you might be interested in. It's called the James John Light Bill. I don't know. If you heard of it.
Is that passing through Congress? That bill?
It's passing.
Yes. All right. It's in the chambers.
It's
in the chambers.
The chambers.
Yeah. All right. Well, you know, sure. I got your light bill, buddy. You heard it here first on Crying in My Car.
Thank you.
I'm going to be crying in my car because I won't be able to afford a house after this. You guys are going to bankrupt me. It's like, sir, on your bankruptcy proceedings, you have listed 700 tampons and one light bill. Did you not have any financial guidance?
What was he lighting up?
All right. This next one, this is great. An elementary school teacher. I like lighthearted ones, too. This elementary school teacher is taking the internet by storm after she has shared her tattle form submissions by her students. So she opened up a box and said, hey, if you got a tattle, don't raise your hand. Put it in the box.
You know, that sounds a lot like snitching.
It does. It's a snitch box is what it is.
That's what it is, man.
So I started using them as a positive form of communication. It's a great tool for conflict resolution, relationship building within the classroom. It's got to be so funny to be like, James, let's say you sit there and you're not supposed to have water in your class, and you go to take a sip, and then all of a sudden you see me next to you. I'll be right back. Pull it up and put it in the box. I think of the act of tattling, like it's got to be like somebody's got a pad of paper and is walking around like holding the jeans. Oh, interesting.
Yeah. But here's the thing:
Tekashi 6ix9ine enters the classroom. He's just jotting everything down.
The box sits right in the classroom, so people are watching. You drop paper.
You're breaking up with me? Interesting. There we go. Miss, there's something in the box.
This one says someone has cooties.
Well, that's the thing. I was reading some of them. Some of them are absolutely great. So she shared it on TikTok and put them out. One of them said, called my shoes ugly. This is my favorite one. Such and such is chewing too loud. Can you imagine just... I mean, right in the box, in the box.
That's funny.
It said she gets from 5 to 15 tattles a day. The one read, I hit her by mistake, and she said, B, don't touch me. And I said, sorry.
B, don't touch me. Oh, I can't.
Yeah, the other one said she keeps getting in people's business.
She knows it.
Yeah. Oh man. So I don't know. There's so much drama. It's hysterical to me. I was reading some of them. I was like, that's great. So yeah, if you got a tattle box,
that's great.
If you're a teacher looking for a little bit of laughter in your classroom, teach elementary school, open up a tattle box. I'm down. A little more serious here. This is Oklahoma City. Now we actually talked about this one on Crying in My Car before you.
Uh-oh.
This is how much dated this one goes back with the CRT and the banned books and things like that. You may have remembered. You may remember there was a national story going around of a teacher that put up a QR code, and it was a librarian. She said, hey, these books are banned. you're not allowed to access them. Here's the QR code for the public library where you may be able to access any books you would probably want.
Ah.
It wasn't here's the book, here's the page that I want you to look at it, read it. It was, hey, we're not allowed to have these books in our library. If you want a library that's a little bit more open-minded, you can go to the public library. Here's the QR code. At the time, that teacher voluntarily resigned from Norman High School as the English teacher. They were up in arms. Now, here's what makes me so livid. This teacher went on to work at the Brooklyn Public Library. Okay. So, yeah, they gave her a job. And apparently, the school board and the state has continued to hound this person and is seeking to bring her back and ban her and revoke her teaching license.
But she's not even teaching.
No.
It's a librarian.
Again, this is what makes me so mad about this. This isn't being talked about because we think it's just about this person. It's not. It's about sending a message.
That's right.
This is mob stuff, bro. This is mob stuff. They're out of the picture. They're not working for you anymore. They're in the Brooklyn Public Library. They're not coming back.
No, they're not.
They don't want to teach in that state anymore after what they went through. But let's send a message. Mess with us, go against us, go against our new laws that we're passing, and we will punish you even if you don't live here anymore. We're going to punish you.
Oh, that's mob mentality right there, man.
I just reading that stuff, it just makes me sick to see that kind of stuff. Again, it's just fear. Fear. What can we get them to fear? And so we're going to get them to fear this and fear that. Now, this is we got one more and then a funny story, and then we'll wrap it up with some good stuff. So this one, heartbreaking. Saw it being shared across the platforms. This happened in the UK. There was a primary school, a head of the primary school, essentially a principal in the UK that in Reading, I guess they would say over there, that took her own life waiting for the publication of a report that they downgraded her school from outstanding to inadequate. She was the leader of that particular school. The school had been going well for quite some time. The inspection came, and apparently the teacher, or not the teacher, the principal, the head, I'll say principal for American sake. Yeah. The principal of this particular school sent out a message that said it was the worst day of her life to her family friends, said it was terrible. They do these inspections, and apparently there's a lot of pressure on that inspection. Now, what disgusts me is they do an inspection, an inspection for a day. Now, have you ever had a bad day, James?
Absolutely.
Have you ever had a bad day at work?
Yes.
Imagine being judged on that one single bad day for the entire year. And so they're fighting back. They're actually halting inspections over there, and the schools are denying the inspectors entry now in her honor, saying this kind of pressure, this kind of mentality that you guys have, you ruin a person's career over a single day. And this is the disgusting part that I was reading, is that you read the inspection, and the inspection reads like some sort of Spanish Inquisition, historical thing. It said that, I couldn't believe this, but it says there was child-on-child abuse happening in the school because they witnessed a playground fight. Child-on-child abuse. They also stated they also stated that apparently the children were being sexualized at the school when they observed a student dancing, doing the flossing. They said that the students, it was a sexual gesture.
Okay, first off, the kid fighting, that's normal.
That's the team inspectors noted that and said, this is obviously a sexualization of the kids. And they said that it was weak at safeguarding the kids, following the requirements and procedures, and said that there was not appropriate supervision during break times. Pupils were potentially at risk of harm, and yet also in the same paragraph described it as a welcome and vibrant school, and relationships between staff and pupils were warm and supportive. But apparently they were planning on downgrading her school from outstanding to inadequate, top to the bottom, and she couldn't take that kind of pressure and
took her own life.
I won't even say that. She couldn't take that. I don't like saying that. I feel weird saying that somebody, that's an immense amount of pressure to have on you. So she shouldn't have had to take that kind of pressure, and as a result took her life. So that kind of stuff, we don't deal with it as much over here, but it's just an example of the kind of mentality that we have on schools of pushing this. It's got to be this way. has to be like this, no flexibility. And we think of it being in the U.S., we have problems, but in other countries, they have, very strict problems. But having a single inspection, I don't know, doesn't sit well with me. Doesn't sit well with me. All right, this last one. This is my favorite one.
Okay.
Save this for last. I told you we had a lot of news today, a lot of things to cover because there's a lot of interesting stuff. Brooke Jacob is a STEM teacher at Shoreland Elementary and apparently has a side job.
Okay. Yeah. Like most teachers.
Yep. Apparently, she's a boxer.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
What?
Creed came out when she was in high school. She started watching that. She got into the Rocky movies and said, you know what? I like boxing. I want to try it out. And apparently, she was named a national runner-up in her division.
What?
Yeah, and she has a boxing career, and apparently has been going around competing. She has been part of the USA Boxing for the past few years, and recently her coaches reached out to her to get her to come to Cincinnati to fight an opponent. She couldn't resist, and the rest of the school found out, and the kids found out, and they thought it was a whole thing, and said the principal announcement says they were not going to do a clap out of Miss Jacobs. We're going to do a walk-in. So they had like a big thing for her. So that was pretty cool. Yeah.
Nice.
So, anyways, I just thought, it's got to be cool to have a teacher boxer.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
It depends on where you're at.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. When those kids found out she was a professional boxer, no discipline problems.
No discipline.
None. Everybody's.
You think they're on
yes,
target?
Yes.
Yeah.
They watch her fight, and she looks at the kids. Saw that? Did you see that?
Did you see what I did? Did you see right there? Yeah. But I also wonder if there's like coaching going on.
Yeah.
Like sitting there and being like, that was you got into a fight at the playground. What you want to do next time? Tuck your chin. What you want to do? Just tuck your chin. Get a little left hook. You got to go right. But
that's funny.
I also wonder how those negotiate. Does she show up at the school board meeting like, I'm here for a raise, and they're like, well, we ding ding. Anyways, I'm here for a raise.
There you go.
You don't understand. Yeah. No, I thought it was pretty legit. I think a teacher as a boxer would be pretty funny. Imagine that intro. In this corner, weighing in at 145 pounds, 120, without the stack of ungraded papers in her purse, able to float between classrooms and save students from a single bee. With the current record of 130 days clocked in with only 2 mental health days, a new world record. It's rumored that when she's in the classroom, the AC never breaks because she's just that cold.
Oh!
The only teacher to walk down the hall to pee with no coverage, knowing her class will stay inside. She doesn't call for a sub. Just the threat that she might come to school keeps the kids doing their work.
There you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, she came to kick ass and make copies, and there's no budget for toner. Let's get ready to struggle. Yeah, that'd be pretty dope.
That'd be amazing, man. Well done.
Have you ever, I'd like to talk about you personally. Have you ever decided on a different career? So when you're a kid, so here's the thing. When you're a kid, so I obviously think a lot of these kids are going to be inspired by her.
Absolutely.
I was inspired by my teachers. I wanted to open up a UPS store because I remember my teacher opened up a UPS store and had a cell phone. And I'd never seen a cell phone. And I was like, I have to open up a UPS store.
That's how that works.
I need a cell phone.
That's how that works.
I need a cell phone right now. And but I did teachers ever inspire? Did they have side careers or like what was your mentality of where are you going to go?
I'm a movie guy, so the coolest teacher in the world, I think we all know who that is. Mm-hmm. Indiana Jones.
Oh yeah,
I want to be Indiana Jones.
Did
I'm
you
like,
really?
Bro, archaeologists do this? That's what they do.
It's ironic too because he's still working at age 87. He's just like a teacher.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's still teaching. So I thought, Indiana Jones was kind of the inspiration. We watched Stand and Deliver, and I wanted to be that guy.
That guy was amazing.
Yeah, I wanted to be that guy. And then there was different moments. I mean, not just movies in class. I saw other teachers that had side jobs, and they kind of told me a little bit about them. I have a teacher that I actually went into French. She had French class, and so she went into writing.
Oh.
And I bought her book. And
Okay,
it's
nice.
a Gothic book. I'll be happy to post about it. I don't have the actual name of it right now, and it makes me so mad because every time I go to the restroom, it's sitting right on the back of my toilet, and I read it, and I don't know what the name is, and I stare at it every single time. But she's just published her second book too, and
Good
she
for
writes
her.
it's this Gothic, Irish Gothic romance novels, and it was one of those weird things where you don't even realize how talented your teachers are behind the scenes.
We don't think of them as that.
You don't think. You think they're just, but they have careers besides that.
Yes,
sometimes
they do.
They have hobbies. They have things they like to do, and a lot of times they're very good at it. They excel.
My teacher, Miss Zern, I still remember her name in high school, was a Disney princess.
A Disney princess?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes.
I couldn't be in that class. I would be so attracted to her already. I can tell you.
I had to leave the class.
That's the thing, man. I have a thing for Disney princesses back
bro.
in the day.
And she was
Still do.
beautiful. She was
Still do.
absolutely
Elsa,
beautiful.
call
Yeah.
me.
All right. It's cool. Fine.
Yeah. But so she was a Disney princess in her spare time. We had
In her spare time, yeah.
I actually taught with other teachers who worked at Disney World as well. Disney World, when you're in Orlando, there's such a good part-time job because their busiest times are the times when we're not in school.
That's right.
And so they hire those. They're like, hey, so you can only work spring break and summer and winter vacation? Perfect. That is exactly when we need you.
You're in.
Yeah. I've considered doing that, by the way.
Why?
I have considered becoming a Disney employee.
Just
I
working
love
like
Disney
part
so
time.
much.
I know you do.
Yeah, I love Disney so much, and I think if I wasn't touring and I had time to actually like get a career, like a job, I think I would want to be a character actor.
No, I have a better job for you.
See, I want to be Darth Vader.
I know you do.
I was staring at Darth Vader in the face, and I was like, because he was tall.
Yeah, he's
and
very
I met
tall.
Darth Vader the other day at Hollywood Studios, and I was staring right at Darth Vader, and I was like, you're
could be him.
insignificant. You're intimidated by me right
There's
now.
a job at Disney that I think is perfect for you, man. You have so much knowledge about Disney. You absolutely love talking about it.
Yes.
You should be the VIP tour guide.
I've thought about that.
You could do that, man.
have
You would
thought
really
about it.
enjoy that job.
Yeah, I would. I think I would. And plus, I make my way through crowds really easily because
Yeah.
I can see over everybody.
You
I can see
can.
the path.
Gotcha.
As they duck and move. But
And you can meet celebrities at the same time, give them tours. You know, that's really cool. Yeah.
Or just meet the same rich people that sit next to me on the plane in the first class.
Hey, you tours! Delightful!
It's so nice to see you. All right, guys. So, James, where can people find you online, my friend?
Well, I want to thank everybody who started following me. You guys have been absolutely great. You can catch me on Instagram at James Yon Comedian, Y-O-N Comedian.
Yep. Now, catch me online, devincomedy.com. Check out my book, A Teacher in the Wild. And don't forget, book for keynotes, PD, professional development sessions. Just message me online and also find me on socials as well. And don't forget to rate us 5 stars on the podcast, 5 stars on the Crying in My Car. You guys have been amazing.
Thank you.
And we can't thank you enough for listening, for sharing, and for sending in all your ideas. So we'll be back next week with a brand new episode of Crying in My Car, a podcast for teachers.
Teacher.
So there might be a clip up there. There might be a clip down there. If it's got our face, if it's other people's stuff, come back. Don't click on that, But us, suggested things. That's us. Crying in My Car. Devin Siebold, James Yon, board teachers. Watch. New trailer for Indiana Jones. No, don't do that. Don't do that.